Plum Semifreddo. We are having company for dinner next weekend, and that means I get to make a dessert. And so I'm going to make a plum semifreddo. And we were given a lot of plums, and these just have to be used right away. So I'm going to make the plum part of this ahead. And so I have 1.5 pounds of plums, and I'm going to take the seeds out. I'm going to cut them all up, put them in a saucepan with some sugar and cardamom, and we'll cook it up. So I've cut up the plums. I've got them in a pot here with 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of cardamom, and a pinch of salt. And we're going to cook this covered for 5 minutes, and then we are going to cook it uncovered for another 8 or so until all this gets pretty mushy. All right, our plums have really cooked down nicely. They're very soft. Be careful, watch out for splashes. And I've let them cool down just a little bit. It's still pretty hot, so when you're doing this kind of thing with hot food in a blender, be very careful. Gonna get it all. Okay, and then I'm just gonna chop this up and run it through a strainer. Oh, look at how pretty that is. That should be just fine. And then we're gonna get any pieces of skin that might be left in here. We're gonna get all those out by running it through a strainer. And then when we come to assembling our dessert, this is gonna go get folded into a nice little whipped cream mixture and frozen. So there you have it. We'll come back to this when it's time to assemble our dessert. All right, so it's time to get the rest of our semifreddo together. I don't really know if that's how you pronounce it, but
Semifreddo.
I have here 3 egg whites and a double boiler situation. Make sure the pan doesn't touch the water, and we are not trying to cook these egg whites. We are trying to, this is 2/3 of a cup of sugar. We're trying to get the sugar and the egg whites incorporated together, and a pinch of salt. And then we are just going to whisk this over the double boiler until all the sugar is dissolved. And this may take a little while. Oh, I should have probably used a stiffer whisk. Well, this is going to work.
Yeah, it's more of a sauce one.
Yeah.
I used to have a good double boiler. Now you have to use this.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the best we can do for now. So semifreddo is Italian. It loosely translates to half frozen. So it's a frozen dessert. It's often made with a custard using the egg yolks. This particular version is using the egg whites, which will make it a little bit lighter. And I guess the reason it would be half frozen is that it has a lot of air in it, and that would be the part that isn't frozen. Maybe, that's just a guess. So, and I think we're getting, looks to me like we're getting the sugar involved here, and I want to make sure that it's getting a little bit warm. Yeah, there we go. It's a little bit warm. It's not cooked. I don't want it to cook. And now we're going to go over here. How hot is it? Hot enough. And we're going to use the electric beaters for quite a while and get this to foam up and about triple in size. We don't want this to be totally stiff, but we want it to be pretty well mixed up. So we'll come back when this part's done. Oh wait, I almost forgot. At this point, we want to add a half a teaspoon of vanilla. A lovely flavor that will complement our cardamom plum flavor nicely. Okay, so I'm just going to get to this for, this is going to take maybe even as long as 10 minutes to get these puffed up and properly puffed. Okay, this looks done. Look, it's soft peaks. It looks about the, and a glossy. It looks about like a marshmallow or something. Get as much of this in here as we can. And then the next trick is to whip the whipped cream. And of course that whips better when it's cold, so I still have it in the fridge. Yeah, all right, kids, you want to come lick the beaters?
Well, there's sugar in there. It's probably good.
Oh yeah.
Even though it's raw egg and
sugar and vanilla.
You're not supposed to do the raw egg though. Oh yeah. Good luck.
Okay, so we have 1 cup of whipping cream, and I'm going to put this in the stand mixer. So you could, you know, if I had 2 bowls for the stand mixer, I would have whipped the egg whites in another bowl in here, just because I'm lazy and it's easier. But
and you don't have to do the cleanup.
now what? There we go. So now we're going to whip the whipped cream to soft peaks and then combine them. We'll come back when it's whipped up. Okay, our cream is whipped into soft peaks. Okay, you notice we did not add any sugar to the whipped cream because we've got sugar everywhere else in the egg whites and in our plum syrup. So we're going to take part of this, maybe about 1/3 of it, and fold it in here. Trying not to kill too much of the air that we've added. And then we'll take all the rest of it, keep that process going. This does not need to be over mixed.
Oh, you can see me in the bowl.
And in fact, over mixing will lose some of the air that we've managed to get in this.
I did like the beaters, in case anybody wants to know. It was delicious.
And then
Not these beaters.
we're going to fold in some of our plum syrup that we made. And this, if we can get this right, and just barely get this incorporated in here, then we should be able to come out with streaks in our finished product, rather than having everything be pink. That is the goal. So I have here a bread pan lined with plastic wrap, into which I am going to pour our mixture.
Oh, it is marbling nicely already.
Kind of.
It's like draw a knife through that after you have it in there.
Well, I think
kind of do it too.
Yeah, I think it's mixed more than I would have liked, but I think it's going to be all right. Have a little bit of a candy stripe appearance to it. And this is just going to be the perfect amount for this bread pan. And we are going to freeze this. And definitely freeze this for a minimum of 8 hours, but this is going to freeze quite a bit longer than that. So now what I'm going to do is put another little bit of our plum syrup right there. And then see if we can cut it in a little bit. Not too much. It'd be nice to have that nice red spot left. And there we have our plum semifreddo. I don't know which it is, but it sounds too much like Alfredo, which it is definitely not. And I'm just going to fold this over, and we're going to pop this in the freezer, and we'll get a look at what it came out like on Saturday. All right, so we had this giant prime rib dinner that was just awesome. And here we have our plum semifreddo. I actually should have
It'll come out.
tried to see about this, but there we go.
There you go.
So I greased the pan so it would come out. And we have all this plastic wrap. And then we're going to turn it over. And then we're going to cut slices off of this. I can see that this one right here has a lot of plum going on. So let's see what the next one's like. Oh man, this is going to be gorgeous. Look at that. That right there, that's
Oh, there's all these
shadows everywhere. That's what we're after here. See, it's a beautiful, kind of a mottled.
It's marbled.
Yeah, marbled. There we go. Cream and plum. It's beautiful.
That's nice.
Look at that. That's just fantastic. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like daytime better.
Oh, yeah. And then we have a little bit more of the plum sauce to distribute on top of the.
You could put a puddle next to it. That would be nice.
Okay, here.
Then you could have the nice marbling. I meant just the.
There's a puddle next to it. Oh, it's gonna be. This is gonna be really good.
Okay.
Okay.
And I got your garnish there for you.
All right.
Here.
We got some.
A little mint garnish. Just for.
Oh, really? The whole thing? All right.
Yeah, just lay it there. This is why I usually do the plating. Just lay it on the side. There you go. Okay.
All right. So there you have it.
Have a taste.
It's a plum semifreddo. with plum sauce.
Oh, what do you think?
That's really good. It's sort of more of an ice than a cream, but it's really very good. So thanks for watching Two Cooks in the Kitchen. We'll see you next time.